Start recording. So, what we are doing here is we are doing two things. We are setting up for the wealth ambition in the next playthrough. We are also setting up two more of the legacy items. Now, I've just realised that one of the legacy items requires you to not have a past, so I've kind of messed that up. But we can still go for the other two. So we will be trying to complete the work of the merchant venturer, and we will also be talking to some people on the surface in Vienna. So then. I'm just right then. So I'm just checking something that I probably should have done before I got here. Cool. Yep. Right. So there's a particular item that I'm going to have to try and get, which I think we've done before. Meantime, if we go into the shops, so yes, at the moment we're not ready. We can't go to the surface yet, so we are going to we're not ready for the surface yet. So we are going to do a bit of general stuff, and obviously we haven't unlocked the merchant venturer yet. Go to my lodgings, read the morning papers. When I get back, I'm going to set up a will. Let's see, how much is it to set up a will? Let's go to lodgings. Can't create any of these. Write a will. 200 echoes. Okay. Right. So we now have an ironclad will. So we're going to stock up a bit on fuel and supplies. We've got a tomb colonist asking to go to Vanderbite. So we'll start by heading up there. Oh man, it feels very slow moving around again. So this is like to be a short session today, just because I have, I'm a little tired. Not particularly sure why, but there you are, having a bit of trouble focusing properly. There's Hunter's Keep. So we did this last time, but essentially Hunter's Keep is a lone grand house on a small island. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist like 100 other undersea islands. But here's a grand house, windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush in full starlight, raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's size, and an unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. So we're going to recontour the island, get a port report, spy on the house. Soon we'll go hungry, and then the end will come, for me but not for you. The pianist raised her eye from the keyboard. Hush, if we do not speak of it. She frowns. Has you seen your window? You withdraw. So I read out these properly last time, although I don't think we had I don't think we did all of the different sisters. So we have Cynthia, Cynthia the oldest, Phoebe the middle, and Lucy the youngest. So let's go and talk to Lucy. A daft tale. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic, and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you are cheerful as you've been in months. I now have Stone's attention. Talking to each of the sisters will remove your hunger, give you supplies, and get you the attention of one of the gods. So we can lure them out with some recent news, so we're going to do that. Knock and wait. You ask the sulphur-eyed maid to carry a few hints of your news to the sisters. Oddly enough, she comes back with a message that their headaches are cured, and you are invited to lunch. So let's have a talk to Cynthia. Cynthia is the oldest, melancholy, pensive, occasionally dramatic. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue. Her hair is wide and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you're sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake, listening to a story of a murder, an axe, a net, blood on scented water. Another chop? Cynthia asks. You barely touch your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. So I actually think that we talked to Cynthia last time, not Phoebe. But we now got Salt's attention. Probably the least welcome attention for me is Storm. So... Now the good news is we don't have any big, things happening. Big things we need to fight. I'm probably not going to do Memento Mori, mainly because I want to go for the cargo ship this time. Because obviously we're trying to go for money, so we're going to be doing lots of trading, grinding. I'm going to be going for a cargo ship, and I don't think that has a forward weapon slot. It might do, in which case we might do the Memento Mori subquest, because that's nice and quick. Then, you brought this decaying immigrant north, now what? Your Doomconless passenger yanks off her bandages. She looks remarkably healthy for a Doomconless. I'm not as dead as I look, she confesses, and I won't get ashore without your help. Yes, the constables are looking for me back home. Is that a problem? I'm gonna help her out. Muffled oars, you slip your furtive passenger past the skin check post and the confirmation of consolidation. Thanks, Captain, she remarks casually. Let me teach you a couple of tricks, just in case you do this again. And here's a little hush money. So we got Menace's suspicion. Oh, you rapscallion. Higher your suspicion, the more fiercely your ship will be searched. Okay. Let's get a port. Set up the first creators plot, because that's always a good source of at least treasures which we can make into heirlooms. And let's explore Vanderbilt for a bit. So this is a bit dangerous. Ragley Fail. Madam, I'm a good Z-man. I'm yours if you'll have me. Will you have me? I'm hungry. I'll work hard. He seems likely enough, if a little ragged and sorrowful. Take him with you. You could use an extra hand. You won't be sorry. I'll work double watches. Ask anyone. They'll tell you have a good name. Yes. Eventually you get him to stop talking. His enthusiasm is promising, if a little pitiable. There will be further effects from this decision. Welcome aboard, stranger. Dear the sailor who came begging to you for a berth, he's done good work this one, but he's keeping a little shrine to Salt, the nameless god of the horizon, at the back of a hold. Permit it. Out here, a captain needs all the help he can get, even from the sad, strange gods of farewells. I've just got Salt's attention even more. He let him keep his salt circle and his chalked arrow. That night, as you stand on the foredeck, a soft breeze comes out of the east, Salt's direction. Tosses your hair, passes. So I think we might be dealing with a later thing involving that because Salt. I think there are other events that can pop up there. I am so used to being able to kill you automatically. Dispose of corpses. So, if we see a lifeberg, remind me I can't fight it right now. Although actually saying that, it might take a while, but oh wait, no, it can catch up to me. Okay. Nope. Wap 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 wap. Sorry, that must have been a really annoying sound. That abyss is a quitter. Cancer abyss. Right then. So at this point, we may need to work out where everything is, and that's the pirate poet, who I kind of probably can't face right now. Okay, so we are actually nearby the salt lions at the moment. So there. So I'm afraid no wife today by Furiosa. Here we are for salt lions. So what is a good thing is that I think we have enough money and probably cargo space. Not quite cargo space, but you know, we can throw some stuff overboard. Salt lions, so visit the makers, Lost 5 Terror, move tutorial. Carry saltstone for London, so we'll throw some supplies overboard. And we will compile a port report. Right then, so let's sail south from the Salt Lions, see what's down there, and then go back to London and drop this old stone off. Choo-choo! it's one of those things where you get so used to having the stuff you get at later points in the game that when you go back to just having the starting stuff, it can be a bit of a shock. Fish friend. Okay, the Labyrinth of Eels, which is not a particularly interesting place even with the Submariner expansion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carefully dodge these sea monsters. Bye, crab. And we're going to head back to London. So Salt probably has the worst curse in that it gets rid of your Scion. I don't know if Stone's curse does anything. Azela has grown fretful and disobedient, reluctant to go on deck even in port. There's a white Z-Bat watching me up there. Salt's messenger. Salt's got its eye on me. I'll never see home again. Salt, one of the nameless gods that Azela's fear. This Azela is conscientious man. Send him to a sick bay on attacks of a fever. And onwards. Azela is grateful, though the ship doctor rolls a skeptical eye. When he next go up on deck, the railings are clear of Z-Bats, white or black, and he sets to work with a will. Storm's curses means that you run into a lot more clouds, basically. Which is not particularly impressive. Okay, collect messages from the Harbour Master. Go to lodgings. Read the morning papers. London, delivering Stinkstone to the special constables. We sign through a lot of paperwork and get 500 Echo back. And lose 2 Terror, that's nice. So I have secrets, so I can go and visit the Alarming Scholar. Oh yes, the university's maritime liaison really. Oh yes, this is quite a tasty one. Let me explain it to you. He explains, teeth glinting. Okay, don't have anything that interests the Alarming Scholar at the moment. Let's go and drop off some port records. We can now talk to the Dark Spectacled Admiral, which is nice. I don't have anything to trade in the Rose Market. Let's see. Do we have a first officer? Okay, let's grab the navigator. Put ship in dry dock. Gonna spend the Admiralty's favour stuff that we just got in order to completely repair the hull. I'm just trying to remember if there is a way of unlocking. I'm just trying to remember how you unlock the Merchants Ventures events. Oh, okay, I think it's just time, so we just need to keep playing. Cool. Right, in that case, shipyard. So the merchant vessel. Yeah, just as I thought, this one doesn't have a forward weapon slot, but it does have 120 cargo space, which is pretty good. So, rather than going back to put my officer in, I'm going to, because there's an island like 2 stops down here, so I'm just gonna sail down there and put him in there, rather than turning back. Okay. Mutton Island, once a simple fishing village, was part of Rutland's London suburbs before it fell and the waters rushed in. Smoke smiles from cottage chimneys, a lonely hill rises behind town. So we're going to chat to a fisherman to get a port. Then we are going to put the first officer in place, and then I think we're going to move swiftly on. So if we go to the south, we'll run into the Iron Republic and the canal to the surface. But since we know where they are automatically, because they're one of the places that don't move, so instead what we're going to do, we're going to sail out a bit and try and get a grasp of where everything is for when we need to do a load of work. When we need to sail around. Okay, so we found the Shepherd Isles and therefore also the Abbey Rock and Station 3. Always handy. Probably not gonna stop in at Station 3 at the moment, just because we have the we don't have any other stuff needed to use it. Actually, might get a port. So here's Abbey Rock for Fighting Sisters. Port. Let's watch for Covenant. Exotic refuse. The Covenant is silent. A few rites prick its bulk. Bells sound with times of prayer. You're almost ready to give up when a side door opens. 4 nuns march out, carrying something wrapped in a blanket and fling it out into the sea. You creep down to examine it. It was likely unidentifiable, even before the nuns used it for weapons practice. Now it leaks fluid from a dozen puncture wounds, but it still smells of the sea. So I got a 3 strange catch from that. So there are these things called Memoirs Beginner's Luck, which basically it allows you, once they play through, it gives you a kind of bonus. If I'm remembering correctly, I don't think the one on this island is particularly that good. Yeah, not really. Um, yeah, to be honest, I'm probably gonna save onto this until we get to. I'm probably gonna avoid using the beginner's luck when we get to um, let's see. Right, so I think because the islands are basically laid out in square rows, so I think we're going to go another row away from London, and then probably turn around. I basically just kind of get the first couple of things nailed down in terms of location. If we're running low on supplies, we might try and push up to Frostfound and places. I don't know how many Wolfstack docks deep is Wolf's Drift. It's pretty deep. It's one of the places we went to. Station 3. We may infer a Station 2 and possibly a Station 4. Machinery hums behind high steel walls. Up on the hill, there are visible outlines of warehouses and a building with a spire, but the lamps are low where they burn at all, and your ship is veering on harbour. Train telescope on the shore. Church or something else. You stand at the high point of your ship and look to the shore. There is a steeple building on the horizon, by far the largest thing in sight. No cross marks on the top of it, nor any other symbol you recognise. So obviously this is a place where they do all the stuff involving heart metal that we ran into, not last time, the time before. So let us sail a bit further east. Oh, we are coming to the Corsair's Forest. Slight problem. Actually, this character does have pretty high veils. It's iron that we're really lacking at the moment. Which is weird, having gone through, you know, a really long playthrough where we're doing a lot of stuff. So I think in Sunless... Huh. Apparently, the Corsair's Forest is right next to the... Mangrove College. Which is pretty interesting. The mists of a sea of autumn get into the eyes, the heart. It's not unusual to find yourself in unexpected tears. And we got the secret. Jolly good. Ask her what she wants from life. Why did she come to sea? Can't shadow. It's like a flit at sea, right? No one tell you what to say or do, and no one to kick you downstairs just because you got a little bit tall. I'll be a faithful officer, but put me ashore with Shadow and I won't forget you. Okay, so we want to drop it off in the we want to drop her off at the Khan Shadow. So this is actually one of the best places to try and get items, just because the Wispy Ways, into Wispy Ways, if you're lucky, that can get you a lot of stuff. Let's pick up a passenger. Oh, that's handy. She wants to go to Gator's Morn, which I think is just to the north. So let's go beachcombing. We find a nasty glob of goo. Yeah, he got rid of our hunger quality at least. Right. Now let's sail upwards. So I think we just kind of pass around the southern tip of Gator's Morn. Hello, scary ship. Behold the thrilling combat of Sunless Sea, going round in a circle right behind an enemy ship, so they just can't shoot you. Right, loot and scuttle her. One supplies and one fuel, and we also got some prison honey. Not bad. Where am I sailing to? Gator's Morn. I don't know why I asked that. I think I might have been trying to fill space. Oh man, another one. This is a crap pirate fillet. Haha, missed. Which I'm very glad about, because that could have caused problems. Oh, this one knows how to stop from reverse. Ooh, that is very worrying. The ship AI has definitely improved. I think the Submariner might have had a ship AI improvement, but I feel like the ship AI has improved since when I started. That might just be me. I might just somehow gotten worse at ship hunting, which would be kind of annoying. One more hit. So we get some supplies and fuel. And a crate of human souls. A sad little chain of bottled souls. It's hard to be sure if souls have eyes, but when these one emerge from a sack into the light, they turn their blindly questing faces towards you, in what seems like excitement, then all at once relaxed, disappointed or relieved. The good old human soul trade. Here we are. I believe we are coming up to the main docking area of Gator's Morn. Yeah, devils use them. They're also highly regulated. The Gator's Morn. Basically, it's a pirate fortress built on a giant stalagmite with special cranes to drag you up into it. Okay, so we want to pay the launching docker for his strategic information. Admiralty sent you? Price has gone up. It's not safe here. You'll pay the difference, won't you? A grin. You're a generous soul. You'll have a reward the other side of the river one day. And here's a little reward for you now. Good sailing to ye. Report is barely legible. Perhaps that's part of the code. The Admiralty will know. Drop off the lady short. She inhales the air and smiles, perhaps for the first time. As I remember it, she remarks, less mud, more rum. At the winch head, a differential fellow in Houston waits. He bowed to the shady sort. A pleasure, as ever. You, he barely favours with a glance. He presses a heavy curse into your hand. Small cones stained with salt water, but together they amount to a tidy sum. Gain 120 echoes. Let's try and get a port. Basically, I go and visit a bathhouse and listen to a bunch of drunk pirates. A steaming bathhouse on a spur of rock. Water slops over the edge of tubs, out over the edge to join the sea below. Scarred captains boast drunkenly of the prizes they've taken and the victims they have marked out. You listen from the shadows. Can introduce Blemigans to it. Good old Blemigans. Let's explore the Morn. There's a surprising quantity of actual landscape on the Morn. It's vertical, admittedly, but once you find the bees paths and urchin roads, you can traverse it as you would a rocky moor, with an additional throatful of lurching terror. Right. A high place, the sea like a rippled sheet of night green jade, the roof of an earth above bellied with stalactites and picked with false stars. Look out across the water. What are you thinking of? I'm going to let's pray to stone. You know the words to speak, and in this place perhaps her eyes are on you. Turn your eyes south, wait 9 heartbeats. In the heart of the elder continent, a tiny fugitive gleam of warmth. It's gone. So I gained 2 mirrors and 2 hearts, and lost the quantity stone's attention. Which is pretty good. Right then, so actually we've got quite a lot of supplies and stuff. So I think we'll head a bit east before we head back. So we return to the good old port of Coral. The principles of Coral. Port Cecil, not Port of Coral. Please don't kill me, fish friend. Alright, here's Port Cecil. So let's play some chess. Odd thoughts bubble up each time you touch a chess piece. This one longs for home. That one has a secret desire for revenge against the slayer of its rank mate. This will be a queen one day. Those who do better as metal. You taste the metal. You ignore these thoughts and move methodically to a victory over your opponent. He blinks. Chessmate? He asks helplessly. Right, let's try that again. A distraction. You don't often look at chess pieces, not really look. The bishops with their hooks, the knight with its mane and teeth, the king and the cream, white mingled with red, the roots that pin the corner of the board down to keep you safe from your opponent. Lift a paw to toy with it, touch its gentle velvety paws. Checkmate, your opponent says. She grins. Look too closely, did we? You need to be careful with intellect chess sets. Her face is blank and white as the dome was chess-born. Get out. Get back to a ship until the waking dream of a coal clears. Let's try this again. Okay. One more game. You don't know how long you've been playing. You won a match. Another. With rough cold tips of chess pieces smeared with blood. Yours, your opponent's. But you've begun to realise that your moves recapitulate the movements of powers of the earth. The flukes and their shapelings. The bazaar that lurks under London. Mount Nomad that prowls the sea. Salt, stone, storm. With every move you take, the shape of it becomes clear in your mind, sharper. Checkmate, you say. One more game? Your first officer is tugging at your arm. Ignore them. You have chess to play. Let's keep going. Nice. Hey! An extra move. So... again, take an aggressive move to get some extra iron. So this is Repulsive of Principles. So we've got the Outcast. Let's gather some intelligence. Officers, we're going to have that as a cook. Story. We are going to explore the coal, not the coal around it. So this was an empty cliff top above the bleak waves. Now it blazed with colour. Striped tents, coloured flames, the music of pianola and kettle drum. Mustachioed women and languorous men play chess, carve bones, eat cats, and polish their terrifying brass weapons. These are Iron Republic privateers, pirates whose practices contravene the very laws of nature. Oh dear. Republicans conspire gleefully in a tangled and multifarious pigeon. French, English, polyphemic, the languages of hell. You can make out words here and there. Liver, thunder, expunge, consume. But it's hard to resolve them into sense. The longer you listen, the less sense it makes, until you begin to fear what effect their infernal whispering is having. When your bosun turns to whisper to you, and you hear only the bleating of a goat, you realise it's time to retreat. So that didn't go too well. So we're going to sail up north a bit. Now we have two fish friends trying to accompany us. Please don't hurt us, fish friends. Ah! I think we are very close to Nuncio, the Isle of Postman, which is one of my favourite places actually. Yeah, the Think Not of Vortex is always south, just south of Nuncio. Sounds like a Harry Potter spell. Nuncio! Summons post. Right, let's assemble a port. Go to the post office tavern, listen to postal cruel tales. Why the cryptocurrency consists of rats. Again, we've done all this in previous playthroughs, so that's why I'm going through it quite quickly. Ask why the hairless postwoman's hairless. Legacy of some interesting explosive package, perhaps? No, she says. Kurt, not please, you asked. Still had eyebrows when I came to Nuncio. The postman at the next step bench diverts you, speaks in a low voice. Lots of people find habits when they can't deliver post anymore. This one has a plucking habit. Best learn not to notice. You glance up. The hairless postman is still glaring at you. Whoopsie daisy. Ask about the big statue in the middle of it. Ask how they occupy themselves all day. The dead letter office, big building, centre of town, hard to miss. You can work there too if you want. It's not here clear whether this is a generous offer or a threat. Try a shift at the office. Blunt Thomas takes around the office, a small collection room where those receiving letters may state their business. A much larger set of black offices where newly arrived letters and parcels are collected and sorted. A dank, briny smell that never goes away, presumably because so many parcels spent time in water before they arrived here. In the back room is a machine manned, ratted, by a postal rat, a ratter's father in a pinstripe hat. It shovels sludge-stamped letters into the machine's hopper, and they come out dry, clean, pressed, and sorted into slots by size and quality of paper. Converse with postal rat. How did he get into this line of work? The postal rat has a pair of spectacles on as re-lettering in front of a water-damaged envelope, working over original letters with a tiny brush and ink pot. The repairs are likely to take most of the afternoon. I like to think of myself being in the resurrection business, he says, stopping to look at you seriously for a moment. Where circumstances permit, taking the dead letters and making them alive again. Doesn't often work, but when it does, a miracle. Converse with postal rat. Do you like having sticky hands? Asked the postal rat. Most people dare sticky hands, they can't wait to clean them. Yes? For a postman, an undeliverable parcel with sticky hands bothers you till it's fixed. The longer you serve in the post office, the worse it feels. Delivering a letter correctly is good, so not delivering it is bad. The unclean feeling gets too strong, and they come here. Make a study of what goes on back room. And end your shift. Right. Let's go west from Nuncio. So, I discovered something the other day. Sorry about that, got a Facebook notification. In the 1990s, there was a character, in British TV called Mr. Blobby, who, if you grew up in Britain, you probably know about. If you didn't, you're lucky. He was kind of terrifying. But what I was confused about is the fact that there were 3 Mr. Blobby theme parks. Which... Why? Why would you want to have 3 Mr. Blobby theme parks? I don't understand. That's a bat swarm. Please go away, that swarm. Not Pat Bat, for Bat Swarm. Oh, right. So occasionally you'll see these ships that sail across there. These kind of neutral ships. They will just disappear. Some of them might have been dragged underneath a wave, some of them might have just never been there. Some of them may have just teleported, I don't know. But yeah, they tend to disappear quite quickly. The out-of-universe explanation is that they're programmed to just disappear. As I understand it, pack bats don't swarm a lot because they spend too much time in their rucksacks. What's this island then? Ah, this is Pignote Island. Pignote Isle. I'm gonna skip over this one again. I'm not awake enough to deal with Pignote Isle. We'll eventually get round to it, but it's an odd place. The Dubois Maelstrom. So right. Again, sorry. Facebook notifications. So I think I'm probably going to get back to London and then finish this particular bit of a stream. So sorry it's not been the most exciting stream. We've just been kind of wandering around looking for places that we've already seen before because we've already done it, but it's just a bit of setup for when we do the Merchant Ventura stuff and the stuff in Venice. Crab Cake. I just love that name, Crab Cake. You can't do anything there, but it's Crab Cake. Rowena's Rocks. I know someone called Rowena. I've never actually had crab cakes. When I've tried crab, I wasn't particularly fond of it, so I never saw the need to try crab cake. Also, it's not that common outside of, you know, around the coast. So I think, I don't know. I'm kind of imagining it the same way as like you get fish cakes at fish and chip shops here. So I don't know if that's quite the same thing. Right. So we're getting back to London. Okay. Aha! The Merchant Ventura. An urchin tugs your sleeve. Governor wants a word. A brooding figure waits at the lamplight's edge. Speak to a Merchant Ventura. I have need of a reliable agent. Failing that, an inventive one. Here are my requirements. He has very specific needs, but he will pay much better than market rates, and he won't ask how you came by these things. So we either want to get spider silk, romantic literature, or approve romantic literature. Lodgings. Okay, so we're going to call that there. I have a feeling I don't quite remember which events trigger the autosave, so you know, we'll sort it out when we load it next week. Cool. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.